So, a big discussion that always comes up is people always want to know, how do I get shredded? How do I get ripped? How do I get lean? All this stuff like that. And, it's funny because for me, I'm very science minded. When I go on the internet and I start reading other people's work, I'm very critical of it. Not because I'm trying to be a dick critical, I'm critical of it because I start looking for scientific backing. If you tell me that a certain thing is going to cause XYZ in my body, I need you to put a footnote or reference that or cite some study. Tell me why. Histidine helps with losing fat. Does it? Can you show me a study that showed that it did? Or are you just selling a histidine product? Oh, okay. So, where I'm headed with this one here is just put this out there. You see these different camps. They're all arguing different things. You have the IIFYM, if it fits your macros. You have the paleo crowd. You've got the zone dieters. You got the fruitarians. You got the vegans. You have the repeat guys. All these different groups are all fighting with each other. You got Gary Tobbs over there, good calories, bad calories, and Lustig freaking out over fructose because he can't even say fructose right. And you got these different camps all battling with each other. Like, oh, well, the reason people are fat is because of fructose causes fatness. And you've got like Mercola and Oz and all these idiots who are going on and on and on with these ridiculous diets. I love it when they say stuff like, hey, you can eat all the fat you want and you won't get fat as long as you don't eat it with carbs. And it's like, okay, there's a limit here, people. And at the same time, IIFYM cracks me up too. That shit cracks me up probably more than anything else. Um, because I hear people talking about the IIFYM and their argument is, well, a calorie is a calorie. That's their argument to everything. A calorie is a calorie. If I gotta get 50 milligrams, or 50 grams of carbs from something, it doesn't matter if I eat Pop Tarts or sweet potatoes. Okay, you're a fucking idiot though, because your argument that a calorie is a calorie, uh, basically you're saying that calories from protein are the same as calories from carbohydrates then, and calories from fat. So really, if it fits your macros, you're actually contradicting yourself. And I'm not saying that all IIFYM people are contradicting themselves. By no means. Okay, there are certainly people within that crowd that admit, yes, the macros matter. Calories from protein are not like calories from carbohydrates. But whenever people make the argument to me that a calorie is a calorie, fuck no, it isn't. It is not the same. You cannot eat a 2,000 calorie diet of, I'm gonna eat 2,000 calories of carbs and then compare that to a diet that's 2,000 calories of protein and then compare that to a diet that's 2,000 calories of fat. Totally different outcomes. I guarantee it. Um, you can sit there and be like, well, the weight gain or weight loss will be identical. True, but body composition will probably change. And you have to keep in mind too that not all foods have the same like miles per gallon. If you look at people that do a low carb diet that's very high in protein, they're usually exhausted all the fucking time. When you look at people that are doing a high fat diet, they seem to get a lot more energy out of it. It's my personal experience with ketogenic diets and seeing other people on them. People on ketogenic diets tend to have more energy. Just the way it is. Um, People on high carb diets tend to have better power production, if you're an athlete or something like that. But then they also have to eat more frequently. And they have these, dips in their day where they are exhausted and then their energy comes back up because they ate. And then they kind of go back into a trough again. So, in any case, I look at all these different diets and I think it's funny because you see these hardline principles, and the secret is, come closer. There are no hardline rules. You can't say all fructose is bad. Fructose. Fructose. Come on, Dr. Lustig. You can't make a comment like that because that's fucking absurd. That's stupid. I mean, you do need to replenish liver glycogen. So eating some fructose probably would be beneficial to you to replenish your liver glycogen. To say that saturated fat is bad, again, this is a stupid comment. One of the dumbest things I've ever heard was Colin Campbell telling people that you need to eat a zero cholesterol diet. That would be... that's fucking stupid. I mean, no. I mean, you need cholesterol in order to make hormones. And yes, your body produces 80% of the cholesterol, so only 20% of your cholesterol comes from dietary sources. But a no cholesterol diet is not any healthier than a diet that's, overly abundant in cholesterol. In fact, research shows that diets that are very high in cholesterol, like people eating like 6 to 8 eggs a day, actually end up with lower serum lipid levels because their body doesn't keep like holding on to it because there's an abundance of it, so the body's like, use it. And that's just something to consider here, and people don't want to listen to any, people want a hard fast rule. That's what I've realized is that people want a hard fast rule. People want to hear, don't eat any carbs at all, or don't eat any fat at all, or people want to be told some hard fast rule. You can't have any fructose. People want to hear that, and I don't understand why. Because obviously the truth is that everything is much more all-encompassing. You're going to have a variety of things coming in. I mean, obviously the laws of thermodynamics still apply. Energy in, energy out, okay, at a certain point. But at the same time, we're aware that the processes are different. So if I eat, 200 calories worth of protein, what happens in my body afterwards is very different than if I just ate 200 calories of carbohydrates, or if I ate 200 calories of fat. If I ate 200 calories of fat, would you expect my protein synthesis to go up? No. Would you expect my nitrogen balance to increase? No. But if I ate 200 calories of protein, you would expect to see an increase in protein synthesis, so my body's building new muscle, and my nitrogen balance would, elevate. If I eat 200 grams of carbohydrates, you would expect to see my insulin level go up. And it will go up far more than if, I ate 200 calories of protein or 200 calories of fat. So these hard fast rules like, well, a calorie is a calorie if it fits your macros, or you can eat anything you want as long as it's paleo. If it's not paleo, you can't have it. There's like these rules, man. These rules. People put too much faith into them, and people want to be told what to do, but no one wants to think for themselves anymore.